Good morning, students. Today I am going to start chapter number 4, Working of Institution from Political Science. And in this topic, first of all, we will take overview of this chapter, and after that I will describe topic number 2, how is a major policy decision taken, and a government order, and after that the decision makers. So students, as you know very well that in my previous explanation related to the chapters before which I told you, so in that chapters I told you about the function of democracy, importance of democracy, and how democracy is restored in different parts of the world and country. So students, in this chapter we will read and study that democracy is not only related to the people electing their rulers. On the other hand, in a democratic country, who are the ruler, they have to follow some rules and regulation and procedure related to the working of different institution and also to run the country. All right. And whatever rules and regulation taken by the rulers in a democratic country, they all decisions are related to the some institutions. Okay, so in this chapter we will study that how these institutions of a democratic country working and what are the importance of all these institutions. And in this chapter, we will also try to understand that how major decisions are taken and implemented by rulers in democratic country and in our India also. And in this topic, we will also discuss that how any kind of disputes, problems or matters related to the different decisions are resolved, and what is the process of taking these decisions and implementation in the country. And the three important institutions of the country, these are legislature, executive and judiciary, how they are correlated with each other and how they are working. Okay, and how these institutions are connected to other institutions of the country, and what makes its functioning more or less democratic. And the main important objective of this chapter is, here we will try to understand that how all these institutions together carry on the work of government. Okay, and students, in this chapter with the help of examples related to the different decision and its implementation, we will try to understand that how these institutions working and how the local government or level of different government or central government working, like what is the role of union government, etc. All right. So students, in topic number 2, we will understand that how is a major policy decision taken. Okay. So students, a major policy decision is taken through a government order, and to know the process of taking a major policy decision, it is very important to know about government order and its issuing. Okay, so this we will understand with the help of a government order. So students, showing of government order, a government order is written direction on an issue signed by a government authority in the office. For example, students, you have to listen very carefully here, because whatever I told you above, that you can understand on the basis of a government order. Alright. So on 13th August 1990, the Government of India issued an order, and it was called or famous an office memorandum, and it had a specific number, and also it was signed by the Joint Secretary, who is an officer in the Department of Personnel and Training in the Ministry of Personnel, Public Grievances and Pensions. Alright, students, you have to understand very clearly, because it is a particular points and name of the department which I cannot explain in another language. Okay, and these decisions announced by an order, and the order announced a major policy decision. So according to the order, 27% of the vacancies in civil post and services of government were reserved for SEBC. And students, here the full form of SEBC is socially and educationally backward classes. Okay. And now it was added in the office memorandum, because earlier benefit of job reservation was available only to scheduled caste or SCs and scheduled tribes or STS. But now the third category, SEBC, was also included and reserved 27% quota for these socially and educationally backward classes of India. Alright. And this office memorandum had a number and is known by that OM number 36012 by 31 by 90 East SCT, dated 13/8/1990. Alright, and it was quite short and only written on one page and looked like a very ordinary circular. But on the basis of above explanation, now you can understand that how it was very important and very beneficial to improve the condition of socially and educationally backward classes people. Alright. But students, as you know very well that in India everything is faced a lot of protest. So when this memorandum was passed, it led to the country-wide protest, and some of the protests were so violent. So finally, as a result, the issue became the most debated in the media with different views and opinions. And also, the people reacted strongly because this decision affected thousands of job opportunities. And students, this memorandum opposed by mainly the upper class people, because for that, or we can say in open language that this is opposed by the generals, because there were no any quota fixed by the government especially for them. Okay. So students, to stop the implementation of that office memorandum, many appeal and case filed in a court against this order, and they appealed to declare the order invalid and stop its implementation. That's why this case came to be known as the Indira Sawhney and others versus Union of India case. Okay. So students, after the filing the case in the court, Supreme Court declared over the order by a majority, and the Supreme Court in 1992 declared the order is completely valid, and it also asked the government to identify its original order. But students, after that, some modifications in order and end of dispute, the order was modified and declared that well-to-do persons of backward classes should be excluded from the benefit of reservation. That's why on 8 September 1993, another memorandum was issued by the Department of Personal Training. Since then, the dispute ended and the same policy was followed. Alright? But students, here I am going to discuss with you the main event before the passing of government order for especially OBC reservation. So students, finally the government of India had appointed the second backward classes commission in 1979, and it was headed by B.P. Mandal. That's why this is also popularly known as in India the Mandal Commission. Alright. So finally the Mandal Commission gave its report in 1980 and made many recommendations and changes. And one of these was that 27% of government jobs be reserved for the socially and economically backward classes. But for several years, many parliamentarians and parties kept. Then after some time later, the Lok Sabha election of 1989 came, and in this election manifesto, the policy made by the Janata Dal promised to the people that if voted to power, it would implement the Mandal Commission report in India for the backward classes. finally, the Janata Dal did form the government after this election, and VP Singh became the Prime Minister, and finally he implemented this policy especially for the improvement of backward class people. Understood? After that, your next topic is the decision makers. In this topic, I will discuss with you that who were the persons which were playing a very important role to make the decisions and also for its implementations. So students, the major decisions involve some major functionaries in our country, and these are, number one is President, because you know very well that President is the head of the state and also is the highest formal authority in the country. That's why he was involved. And after that, Prime Minister, because you know very well that Prime Minister is the head of the government and actually exercises all government powers, and he takes most of important decisions in the cabinet meetings. And after that, the third important functionaries of India is Parliament. And this you also know that it consists of the President and two houses, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Understood? And the Lok Sabha or the lower house is composed of the elected representatives of the people, and the Rajya Sabha, which is also known as upper house, represent the interest of the states and union territories, and the Prime Minister must have the support of majority of Lok Sabha members, because Prime Minister is chosen by the common people and Lok Sabha is a group of members which are elected by the common people of India. So students, now you can understand that in our country, India, all the major decisions are taken by the Council of Ministers in the cabinet meetings, and this meeting is supervised or headed by the Prime Minister of India. And students, any decisions taken by the ministers and councils of ministers in the cabinet, the decisions are discussed in the both houses of Parliament, in Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. And after the declaration or approval given by the two houses, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, with the help of majority of members in favor of that decision, okay, it is sent to President for complete and final approval. And students, here you have to very careful to understand that if once the decision is approved by the President of India, so finally it is ready to be implemented and issued by the concerned government authority officer as government order. It means, in simple language, you can say, if this order is completely approved by the President of India, after that, it is the responsibility of the government officers to implement this order or this government order in all the states and union territories of India. All right, understood? But students, as you know very well that in India, every policy is opposed by some people who were not satisfied for any decisions whatever taken by the government. So students, if some people or any association of the country are not satisfied by government orders, and there is sometime misunderstandings and disputes creating between these social groups and in government order, then they can file the cases in the Supreme Court or in High Court. So students, now here you can see that how our constitution given us a lot of opportunity to express our opinion in front of government with the help of judiciary. All right. For example, if some persons and association filed a case in the Supreme Court against the government of India decisions of 27% of reservation for socially and educationally backward classes in civil post and services. So, as I told you above, then any association can file the case in the court. And this case was known as Indra Sahni and other versus Union of India case. Alright students. So students, I think this chapter is now very easy to understand that what are the working of our institution and how legislature, executive and judiciary and both houses of parliament, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha are connected together with each other and very important to implement any decisions for all over the India. All right. So students, for today's that's all. Thank you and have a nice day.